Hey there, and happy Friday, everyone. I hope that if you have some time this weekend to craft, that maybe this video will be the inspiration that you need to get that done or get some ideas to be inspired to get going. Sometimes we all just need that little bit of something to get us excited about crafting or a project and such. And I am here today kicking off Pam Crinky's virtual stamp party, and it's her card number 1. And so Pam has told me that she loves die cuts, and so that's easy then to just start in and look for something with die cuts. And then she had kind of said something about the pine cones, and so I'm not sure if these are the right pine cones that she meant. I did the pine cones yesterday, and so that used the Painted Christmas suite of products, and so I just kind of took different pieces from the Painted Christmas suite of products and using the opposite dies that I did yesterday, but yet continuing on. So it's kind of fun to just kind of leave out some of the products and then switch gears that way too. Hi there, Lois. Good to have you on here. So with that, let me show you today's card. Kind of a lot of greenery in it, and I kind of left it loose and flowy too, so it kind of gives it extra dimension and such that way too. Hey there, Rachel. Good to have you on here. So let me get my camera turned around so that you can see the card the right way. That'll help you see what I'm doing and make sense of it all. Also, Pam just purchased the rectangle die. She's like, I think that's something that I would use a lot. So I made sure that I used the rectangle dies here on her card so she could have something for when her order arrives that she could jump right in and go, yep, there it is. That's one way how it is used. So hey there, Marie. Hi, Wendy. So let me show you where some of these products are found. So the For Unto Us is where I'm using the sentiment for the front of the card here, and then eventually I'll use the inside. I put both this stamp and the star on the same block, so it makes for easy stamping. For Unto Us came out last year in the mini catalog and the holiday catalog, and then they didn't exactly retire it, but they just kind of put it on hold, and now it's back in this year's mini catalog. I didn't get it last year, and I was so bummed. So when this came out, I'm like, oh, I am so getting it. And this stamp set, I always like to give you guys facts and figures, was one of the most popular stamp sets that I sold from the holiday catalog last year, and I just love how the sentiments go together. I love like how there's great fonts that can be for both inside and outside of a card. When the font kind of follows through, it makes it look like the card was just meant to be exactly like that too. So that is on page 41 of the mini catalog. So if you're looking for just some really good sentiments for Christmas, that's where that's at. And then yesterday I did a lot with the whole Painted Christmas suite of products and used things from the bundle and such. But what I didn't touch on, I used these dies yesterday. I didn't use these. Today I'm using these dies here. So both of these dies. And then you'll see there's several pine cones. So I'm using the 2 big pine cones and the 2 small ones. And these 2 next pine cones, before I forget, I'm going to mention it right now so I don't forget later. They are the same size. So they're actually like the inside and outside of the pine cone, the inside and the outside of the pine cone, the same size. So if you're making something where sometimes a grouping of 3 looks, nice, it's kind of nice so that you can pass all of these through your cutting machine in one pass and have that done. So I like it when Stampin' Up! Gives us some repeat dies because it makes die cutting a lot easier, especially today because I'm going to be doing quite a bit of die cutting. If you remember my card from yesterday, there was a ton of die cutting with that too. So I thought this could be pretty today, but I just decided to do without the gold leaves today and just kind of focus on red and green and such. The dies I'm using today are the Christmas Pinecone dies, and they're on page 13 here, also shown with the stamp set that I used the sentiments from yesterday. So that is where that comes from, but always ask if you have questions about that too. So now I have to think, hey there, Carol, where I want to start, and probably just lots of die cutting. All right, so my card base today, my card's going to open this way. So 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then this is kind of my color scheme here. A little bit of white with some early espresso, crumb cake, real red, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. So these are those two newer ink colors, and I love using them together. I feel like whenever I pull out one, I pull out the other. They're just really good complementing colors together. So with my cutting machine here, let me get out the, like I said, these are the Christmas Pinecone dies here, and these are the two sizes that I'll be using. So these two nest together, and then these two will nest together. And like I said, there's an extra set of these in there that I won't be using today, but I will be using both of these big dies. So you can see these are the size of an entire card front, both of them. And these are also meant to go on top of each other, but a lot of people use them separately too, and that is just fine as well. So with this, I kind of had to go, which color do I use first? And kind of like the pine cones, when you have a base and then you can see this intricate design would want to go on top of there. So I'm not so worried about the pine cones. I kind of just want the greenery today, but I'm going to start with this one first anyway. And so that I'll put on my cut and emboss machine here, and that's on the soft succulent cardstock there. I'm just going to run that through. And I'm going to just do another run through the other way because it is a more intricate die. So you can see lots of little intricacies there too. So I got a little distracted with people coming in and out at home here and on their way to do different things. Otherwise, I was going to actually have this just pre-cut out for you guys and such, so that I wouldn't have to monkey with any of that. I'm not going to monkey too much too with the insides. If it comes out pretty easy on the inside, it does. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave the middle because that's going to get covered up with the sentiment too. Hey there, Kelly. Good to have you on here. And then don't forget, I might need it more for the next layer, but the little mat that comes with the take your pick tool, that's kind of a nice thing too. Sometimes I use it while the cardstock is still in the die, and then the next time I use it when the cardstock's out of the die. Just a nice gentle way to be able to get rid of a little bit extra, and then you can always just poke those out too. So we're going to call that good and put that die aside. And then next, I'm going to take out kind of the more intricate one that's going to lay on top of it. And it's more intricate because, of course, we want the bottom soft succulent layer to show through. This is going to lay on top. So let me just crank that through my cut and emboss machine a couple times. Like so, and then I always kind of tip it over and go, okay, that looks like it's cut really well, and that is a good way to know if it should go through again. And sometimes if I go like this with my machine, or with my take your pick little brush tip, and it doesn't want to come through very well, then I'll know to put it through even again or so. So let's see. And you never know. Sometimes it's just kind of the right shim or not. And so I'm just going to kind of gently take this out without tearing anything, hopefully. Oh, no, I did. Let's get another piece. That's not good. That did not happen on my first go through. So never fear. I have lots of cardstock here. I just sometimes get too like too antsy, and then I just want to just tear it apart really quick. And this is the one layer that I was going to have taken out right away. So I'll see if it's maybe just needing to be cut, because that does look pretty decent there. And then sometimes what I do, this is just another little tip that I have, is I'll cut this off like so, so it's not such a big chunk. And then I will run it through, but I try and put it more at an angle so that the pressure goes through in a different way. And sometimes that is all the magic it needs too. So sometimes it's not the die's fault or the machine's fault. It's just how it likes to be cut and such. Hey there, Barb. Hi, Leah. Good to have you guys on here. All right, so this looks a lot happier already, and you can tell this just wants to fall apart. So maybe it was something with what I was doing the first time, because this is obviously working a lot better. All right, so then with this, I just take and poke that through, and then have to, at some point here, get something that I can pull this off of my die. There we go, without tearing it. Okay, so now we have this, and I'm actually, so this is so fun, and you could see it was pretty easy to take out of there. And then these little pieces of the pine cones, I'm just going to leave like that, so I have something to put some adhesive on. I kind of want it to be nice and free-flowing, and know that the sentiment's going to be in the center to keep that down, but yet to have something to put a little bit of adhesive, but not a lot on is good. All right, so that's that layer that I'm going to set aside. And then next I'm going to stamp. There's not a lot of stamping to my card today because it's kind of all about the die cuts, and that's what my hostess wanted. I know she wouldn't be fussy if I didn't do that though either. So I'll open up my Real Red ink pad here, and the sentiment here says Christmas begins with Christ. So I'm just going to ink that up in the Real Red ink here and stamp that out in the middle of my white cardstock like so. And then I'm going to show you these great stitched rectangle frames. You get 13 of them. This is the one I'm using. And they always kind of look like a mess because the more I try and organize them within, as soon as I move them, then they kind of shake into a different thing. But what I like to point out is you've got some that are wider and some that are narrower, and they all fit under the category of a rectangle. So like I said, 13 different sizes in there, which is really nice. So that's ready to be cut out with that die. So with this, I thought it was important to stamp first so that I could see exactly how to center that with my stitch rectangle die. I'll just crank that through quick. And this I like to show too, because I love that stitched edging around there. I think that's what makes it look so special. So, so that's kind of fun. So that goes there. And then next, what I'm going to do is start right on my pine cones. And so I'm going to use just 2 pine cones. And I was going to say, hopefully I didn't lose where I set my dies after I showed them to you. All right, so these are the more solid dies. These are going to be kind of the background dies. They're filled in, so I'll put those through first, and I kind of just do it in this order to mentally say to myself, that's what gets put down first, that's the bottom. And so that way I know, like, okay, we should use a lighter color for that too. And let's see here, that one came through, and I'm going to set this aside so people can see Pam's name. Sometimes I'm terrible at piling things up right there because it's such a good spot to put things, right? All right, so we have those cut out. And then next is going to be the next layer that goes on top. And you can see these are pretty intricate. When I cut them out, oh good, Pam the hostess is here watching. I didn't know with her busy work schedule if that would work out. So it's great to have you here, Pam. Wonderful. So after I cut these out, I realized they were way more intricate than what I was expecting. So have you ever done that where something's really intricate and you cut it out and go, okay, now how am I going to adhere that on there? So I'll show you, these are the pieces that will end up coming out. And I'm like, yeah, to put glue dots or whatever, We could put some fine tip glue on there, different things, but this is where this is a miracle product from Stampin' Up! And I don't advertise this as much as I should because I don't consider it pushing or advertising so much as just being a great help. So these are the adhesive sheets, number 152334 in the annual catalog. And so it comes in a 6x12 strip. And often I just take my trimmer and just cut right across there, and I'll just take like a 1-inch strip like I did here for little bits and pieces. And then what I do is just take the sticky paper here and just peel this off. So this is like a sticker, so I'll peel that off, and then it kind of isn't, or it is in sections, which makes it great for a sticker. And I'm just going to put this and stick it right to my early espresso that. Oh yeah, and Pam did just order these. So another thing that I used that is similar as a product that she was interested in some of you, and I want to show the difference, is if you remember the cookies card I made, so that has the same thought process as far as making it stick, but this has the foam to it, and these are foam adhesive sheets, and these are just plain adhesive sheets without any extra lift or foam on there. Okay, so this I will put down, so that side goes down. They're so easy to use, and if I can help you out by showing you exactly here on the video, then it takes all the learning curve time away from you guys. You can get right to using the product. So that I'll put there like so on my early espresso cardstock, and then I'll just put that through my machine. And what's kind of fun about this is a lot of times, so you can see with this one, I didn't get the sticker sheet all the way to the bottom, and I often do that on purpose because then it gives my hands a little bit of something to hold on to, because without any sticker here, now I have something to peel away from, versus if the whole thing is sticker, how often have we done like, oh, I can't get a grasp on that because of that. So we have sticker on most of it and yet something to grip on too. Hey there, Brenda, I've missed you. All right, so that, because it's sticky, I'm going to stick that right on to my pine cone, and it makes putting these together super easy. It's really easy to see where that's going to nest and lay right on top of that too. Now I'm going to grab the next one, and that one has the sticker sheet all over it, but with this being pretty intricate, I can already see where one little leg of my pine cone is sticking up. The other great thing is a lot of times when you peel this off, all those little pieces of early espresso that you don't want on there, it sticks to that sticker paper, and then you're left with this, so you don't even have to poke it out. I love that. Okay, so then this is just as easy to stick right on to that pine cone there. If you're making a bunch of these, it's going to be even faster because you can just do it and not have to explain it. I'm doing a lot of talking today, so that takes time. And I think all of my die cutting is done, so I'm just going to take and put my machine out of the way so that I can start my assembly here. Lots of stuff. It kind of, when I see this, I almost have like this pine scent in my head, like my room should smell like a Christmas tree or something like that. All right, so where we see where these pine cones could go, and if you wanted to make a card, like how pretty would that be to lay that, and you can see exactly where that's supposed to lay if you wanted that to be your card. It almost looks like chocolate drizzle, doesn't it? All right, but on these solid pieces, this is where I'm going to put, my adhesive. I'm just going to make sure that I get it going there. Now I see it. It's kind of backed up just a little bit from my last project. So where it's thick there, then I'm just going to put on my adhesive. Like I said, don't have to have a lot. I want the edges to be free flowing. So this way I can just put this, I'm going to put it on this way, like so. And then you can see there's some of these little tiny pieces. I just left those because a lot of this is now going to be covered up by that next layer. Oh, Pam, your smell's coming back. Yeah, Pam just had COVID not too long ago, and I remember like not being able to smell or taste things, and it was like kind of nice to not have to smell some things because we live on a farm, but there were other smells that I definitely missed smelling. So glad to hear that, Pam. All right, so I'm just going to do that same thing. Just put a little bit of my seal right on there. If you have a different adhesive that you like that's more of a glue, then that works out well too. And then you can just kind of see those pine cone dies. It's kind of a nice thing to be able to lay right on top of there and see where those go. So that I'm just going to just kind of press in there like so. So there we have that, kind of loose on the edges, but it's okay because next we're going to assemble that next piece. So these don't have an exact like 1/4 inch measurement. So this is like just less than 2 inches, and this is just a little less than 3 1/4 inch. So I cut my real red cardstock like 2 and say like 1/16, not quite 2 1/4 or something, and then this is 3 1/2 inches. So just kind of, you know, did that type of measurement so that it looked like a nice solid matting there. And I wanted the red to be nice and big around that to kind of make a big bold statement so that it stood out from all of the greenery too. And then next I'm just going to put some dimensionals right here on my sentiment as the main attraction, right, like so, and then peel those off. Some days I think I have like adhesive from my dies putting those on, so my fingers are already a little bit sticky. There we go. All right, so then this is going to go on here like so. And when I first started to do this, I thought, man, I've put kind of a lot of effort into this card without it looking really all that great. Like it's just like I have this popped on red on top of the green, so it's just adding those embellishments, and I like to share that with you because embellishments make such a difference. So this I'm just going to tack right on here, so I don't need to pop that up. I'm just going to put some adhesive because I put that on my this on there. Sometimes then I kind of lose my next little pathway. All right, there, it's stuck really well. Okay, so that I'm just going to put there on the corner, and then this is going to be on top of here, and I want it to be that same height. So this one does get a dimensional. It's going to just have one there, and it just barely fits on the regular size. Otherwise I would have used like the little mini. And I just kind of want to have this one a little bit more out at an angle, like so. Whoops. And then, hey there, Kathy. And then I thought just to tie in this and add a little bit more greenery, I got out my soft succulent blends marker. I just took the lighter of the two. In this banner, I'm just going to run a little bit of my marker over top that to add just a little bit of greenery there. And then with my embellishment, I've been using these a lot, guys. I thought I just need a little something because a lot of this is like intricate. So let's go with the tiny embellishment, and that is the red rhinestone basic jewels. And there are 220 of these in a package. So I always like to let you guys know it's a really good value, because when I open this package up, and you guys do know I've been using these a lot if you watch my videos, it takes me a long time to use up a package. So this one's just starting to use here. So I'm going to put one little gem there, and then another one kind of up here, and then another one over here, kind of just going with the theme of let's do an odd number to make that pleasing. So we went from pretty plain when I just put the Christmas sentiment on there with the red, and what a difference adding those couple of pine cones and just those little gems on there made to really make the card look special and a lot stepped up. And then for the inside, I just have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white cardstock, and I'm going to pull over my ink pad the Real Red ink pads. So what I did is from that same stamp set, For Unto Us, there's a Merry Christmas, and I like the little swirl underneath there. There's also a star. Oops, and my star kind of got knocked a little sideways. I'm glad I noticed that now, otherwise Pam would have a sideways star on her card. All right, hopefully that stays on there like so. So I put those both on my block here so that I just have to stamp one time, and then my Merry Christmas with my star is all on there like so. And that I can just take and tape down for the inside of the card here. And I know, yes, it is September. Yesterday I had a Christmas card. Today I'm doing a Christmas card. But I've just really been enjoying that. And I also am going to do other occasions for Pam's next 2 cards. It won't be just all Christmas. But like I said, I thought it would be kind of fun for you guys to see me use dies and stamps from the painted Christmas suite yesterday, and then turn around and use different products from that same suite today that will look completely different. So I actually have the card right here. So this is that same suite of products and different dies. These are different dies than these, but how fun that is together. And I love showing products from the same suite used together. So sometimes that helps you go, oh yeah, I need it all. Or, hey, no, this I like better than that, or, vice versa or something. So that helps you make good decisions too when you're shopping. Cause you know me, I like it when you guys can make good decisions that way. So this is today's card number 1 for Pam Crinky here in the inside there. So let me get my camera turned around here like so, and that kicks off my demoing for the week already. I can't believe it's Friday, but without Monday, because of the holiday, that kind of makes the whole week go faster. So I will be back again on Monday to do Pam's card number 2, and then Tuesday will be card number 3, and that will wrap up her demos and such. But how you can get the cards that I'm making for Pam's party is place a minimum $25 order using her host code, and I will also upload the card that I just made, and then that will also have her host code attached to the picture so that you have that as a reference too. So then when you order using that, or if you need my help to do that, I can sure help you with that too. And then that is how you'll get the 3 cards from me as a thank you from Pam and I for ordering through her party. And then after that, that'll take us to Wednesday, and then I will start in on this month's virtual stamp camp. It's kind of going to be a stack of 10 cards, 10 different ideas that I'm going to demo for you guys. And then how you can get those cards is with a $75 order. You get the 10 cards for free using that special host code too. And there'll be more information on that when I start that. And then you can also see that in my monthly newsletter if you've gotten that. Or at the top of this page, I've pinned all of my current hostesses. Right now it's Audrey Payton and Dawn Earlbeck and Pam Crinky. And then I also have my September Stamp Camp code there too as a nice reference for you guys too for being so loyal, and I appreciate that too. My hostesses appreciate it just as much. So good, Pam. I'm glad that you love your cards. So I'll let you get back to work, and you guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.